Hello, and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Monday, December the 19th. My name's Eric Wilkinson. Some of you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC, Fox Business, or even the Wall Street Journal for my commentary on everything from economic to geopolitical and market analysis. Please keep in mind that everything that we talk about in these daily market commentaries is not a solicitation to buy or sell any of these securities or strategies. At the end of the day, we're here to teach you some different strategies that you can implement into your portfolios, but please do that in your own way. The reason why I can't give you a recommendation on a particular stock or strategy is because I don't know your risk parameters, I don't know what's in your portfolios, and therefore what I'm doing could be counterintuitive to what you are already doing. Having that out of the way, let's get this on. Not a whole lot of economic data today. We did get flash services PMI come in at 53.4, was expected to be 55.2, and we have Janet Yellen speaking today later this afternoon in a little over 2 hours from now. So we have that to look forward to. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty quiet week, I would expect. Anytime we're heading into the holiday season, it seems to slow down a little bit heading into Christmas. So I don't expect a whole lot to happen this week, and do expect a little bit lesser volumes across the board. Anyway, on to the overall markets. We've got crude oil right now just barely in negative territory. It was just unchanged a second ago, trading right below $53 a barrel. Not a whole lot going on there on that front. Then we got gold futures pushing a little bit higher. We got a bit of a mixed bag right now. We do have gold futures pushing a little bit higher, though, at $5, up $5.40, but nothing really to talk about there. It's still below the 9-day moving average. We also have a bearish trend shaping up, so it hasn't really broken out of this trend here, so it's still pretty much a bear market. Bonds up pretty nicely right now. We've got bonds up over a point, trading at 48.27. They are right there pushing on the 9-day moving average, and that's going to act as resistance. We've got the Dow Jones also up $22 right now. Not anywhere with the 20,000 in the sights. I don't really see that happening right now, so probably going to have to be waiting until beginning of the year. I actually could see a pullback happen before we ever get there. See a bit of a pullback because there's so many people just gunning for that 20,000. I think that the market could take a bit of a correction before that happens. But again, cats and dogs living together. We got the bonds up, gold up, crude oil was slightly up. We got the equities up as well, with the NASDAQ up 30 points on the day and making a new intraday historical high settlement. But you can see that this right in this area here is going to be acting as major resistance at 49.66, let's call it. That's going to be a real hard number to get up above. The bulls need to settle above there in order to get that real feeling of getting above that line in the sand of the resistance area. And then we've got the E-mini S&Ps up just slightly on the day, up 1.5 points. But on the intraday chart, you'll see that it is a pretty quiet day. Overnight, it was not doing a whole lot. The other thing is we had a big couple of moves, but that was just lack of volume. As you can see, the previous day's volumes at this time were much better than where we are now. So it's just really kind of quieted down today. On to a couple of things that I've done. I did this trade as a setup really for a market correction, add a little bit of short deltas to it, and I'll be talking about how to set this trade up on Friday in the webinar. And it's along the lines of these, this is the put calendar. We did one on Friday on the call calendar, and I've also done a trade for that, but I wanted to add some short deltas to this. I also think that we are going to see a bit of sideways move and then a correction, and that's what I'm looking for from this trade. And I went into the January and sold the 224 puts, and then the February I bought the 224 puts. So that's the put calendar. It wraps around all those rules that I talk about in the daily or in that webinar that we did on Friday, and I'm going to be talking about how to set it up for the put calendar. And I think this is a really good one. I paid $1.39 for that trade, so hopefully we can get a little bit of volatility expansion in this trade, and then that will help me out quite dramatically. It's at such low implied volatility right now. The probabilities are that that volatility is going to expand for me, so that's what I'm looking for with that trade. Then on to Bilton Limited, ticker symbol BHP. Went into this one because it fit perfectly with all of the rules that I talked about in the Friday webinar. We actually even talked about this one in that webinar, and so I decided to put this on this morning as soon as I got the opportunity. And I went into the January, sold the 36 calls, and then bought the February 36 calls, and I paid 56 cents for that trade. So looking for that trade to also work out quite nicely, continue a little bit of this downside here and then the upside in the back end. So that fit those rules, so I decided to go ahead and put that one on in accordance to that. All right, so Friday's webinar, like I mentioned, is going to be on the put calendar. It's going to be this one works out a lot better with the non-binary event type situations, because if you just get a correction, you're going to see volatility expand. Whereas with the call calendar one, I'm really concerned about the call that I'm long having a binary event in it, so that even if the market goes up, we could see volatility expansion, which you don't normally see when you're getting a bullish market. You usually see volatility contract, whereas it's easy to see volatility expand in a down market. So that's why I've set those two trades up that way. We've got BPH here having the earning event in that long call that I have. The short call is a clean month, so therefore we can get that theta decay, get volatility expansion in that long one, and hopefully we can make some money rather quickly. With the SPY, no binary events, but we are looking for a correction along the lines of my thesis, so therefore I would see volatility expansion in that one, and that will help me out. All right, so that's about all I got for you guys today. Check out ProTraderStrategies.com and sign up for that webinar, and if you can't take that, take it easy.